What's up, all the Fire Ass crew? Today's video, wireless winch controller. So what we got in the box is 2 sets of wireless controllers. This one's going to be for Rust Bucket. This one's going to be from a 91 Jeep. There is the wireless module here. And of course, your remotes. So let's get that box up front, tore apart, and get these installed. Now here's the wireless receiver that's installed inside the winch. Blue wire is your antenna, black is ground, red is battery positive, yellow is in, white is out. Let's get that cover off and get it installed. Now depending on where your winch controller is mounted at or how it's made, yours may come off different. But back in behind here I've got 2. Try the other side. Can't see them for the camera anyway. Right here is one, and over a little bit more is another. Phillips head screw. I got to back them out enough to clear this bar, which will allow me to take that control box and pivot it off this way. This is how I do it. I get one of the bits out of my multi screwdrivers and put that inside there. Hold the back side of it here. I got a ratchet wrench on it right there. And that's how I back the screw out. Once you get the control box off, you got 4 Phillips head screws, 1 in each corner. And down there. Now, if you guys watched the video where I installed the bump switch, you'll know that this thing had a wireless module already in it. But when the company sent me the Wish to make the videos with, they didn't send the wireless controller, so yeah, it's kind of pointless to me. And the kit that I'm installing today, the remote doesn't work with this. So we got to uninstall this one, which is right there, ground coming off here, and the yellow wire coming off right there. So easy enough. Let me get the tools and take everything apart. Now I have the power to the winch turned off. I've got a master switch inside the Jeep that I can control the power going to the winch, and so I don't get shocked. That's it. That's what I'll say. Yeah. So there's the white wire going to that remote, and I noticed something right off the bat that's not going to fly. The eye to this eye right here, little bitty. Yeah, that's not going to work. So I'm definitely going to go in my little electrical kit in there and put bigger eyes on this. But that's okay. It's easy enough. So I took that off. I'm going to stack this one there, because that's where they belong. And just so I don't get a bunch of wires taken off and say, where does that go? So that's there. That red goes down, you get a wrench for that. Black right here. Okay, that going over there to that one, and over there, it's going here, that's ground, and the very bottom one is going to that wireless module. So again, put all your little connectors back on, so you don't get all mixed up and thinking, hey, where's this wire go? And just run that on a little bit. You ain't got to put it completely on. So now our yellow wire ties in right there. That goes to the bump switch, that goes to the plug out here, and this goes to the wireless module that we're removing. So then put your wire back again so you don't get anything mixed up, and just loosely put the nut back on. So now I need to go get a wrench. And that looks like about a 12mm, I believe. So take that off. That'll be the last wire for removing this wireless module. Of course, it'll be the very last one on that stack. Take that one off. Take that one off. And now I get to the wireless controller wire, or wireless module, wireless controller, wireless receiver, whatever it is. Now stack all these back on. So I'm just going to leave that nut off this right here for right now, because that'll be the first wire I install for the new wireless receiver. So here's my situation. I went looking through all my terminals, and if I found one that had the proper size diameter ring to go over the stud, it was so big on the crimp side that I was going to have to fold this wire like a dozen times to get a proper strong crimp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these off this wireless receiver and solder them onto this, or heat shrink solder. So what I mean by that is by using these. This is like a heat shrink slash solder all in one. It keeps the diameter bundle of your wires down to a minimum, especially when you're cramming them in an area like I am right now. That is very important. So what'll happen is, as you'll see, I'll twist these together after I cut them, strip the wire back and all that, but have this over top of the wire. So when I twist them together, I'll slide this over top of where the wire twists together. This solder will melt to make a strong joint, and these in the heat shrink will shrink down to make them waterproof. But they're inside that box, so that shouldn't be an issue. But that'll keep the diameter of your wire down to a minimum. So as you can see here, this is the controller I'm gonna use. See the small ring terminals that have to be cut off? This is the controller I'm gonna use. And here is the heat shrink tubing or solder or whatever you call that contraption. Slide it up. Make sure you don't have any stray wires hanging. That makes them hard to slide over. Slide that over this like that. Then I have that one already pre-stripped. Twist the two together like so. Then you take your terminal, then you take your heat shrink and carefully slide it back over. And notice the solder band right here is over top of where I twisted the two wires together. Take my little orange lever, push it forward, which disengages the lock, and we got flame. And kind of concentrate on that solder band a little bit. Not too close, you don't want to burn up the heat shrink. There it flowed. Alright. And it makes a great little connection that keeps the diameter small inside that tight little compact area, but it also keeps it pretty well flexible too, so you can bend the wires where you need them. So, let's do the rest of them. Okay, so I'm not going to have to do the red one because we have a good diameter here. Of course, the blue one on this receiver does not need to be done because it's just the antenna. So, we take care of the red. So we take care of the yellow and the white. And transfer these over to that. Now take and cut right here. Ballpark it on this one. These right here are my favorite strippers because they're quick and easy, and you can actually set the depth of how much wire strip you want done. But on this right here that has that cloth jacket on it, they're a little bit harder to use because its teeth doesn't grip the jacket very well. So what you want to do is make sure when you cut your wire and when you're reusing your ring terminal like I'm doing here, you leave enough wire for the grips to get hold of it. Get in here, you take the end of that wire and butt it against that. That makes your strips consistent. Now, normal, I'll squeeze the grips here and it's going to strip that. But, like I said, that cloth jacket, it wants to slip. So take your jaws, squeeze down on the jaws, try to get a little harder bite. And there you go. Now you just cut off a little bit of the cloth fray right here, and you're good to go. Same with this one. Butt your wire up against that right there, which establishes your length. Press down the jaws a little bit. Yeah, buddy. And get one of these right here. Now, oftentimes it's a little bit easier if you take your wire and go ahead and twist it like this, then slide this over top of it. If you don't twist it, it kind of wants to catch on the edges. If you don't twist it, it catches on the edges of that stuff inside there. Finesse it. Come on, yeah, man. There you go. Then once you get it through, you can take and straighten out any kind of disoriented, crossed. We don't want that one. There it is. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Twist that one around that. And twist this around that. Bring this back over top of that. And it's like I want to push my jacket back, but that's okay, no big deal. As long as my solder band right here is over top of the wire. And the solder's flowing through. Please shrink the rest of it. And we're good. Now before you start doing any of this wiring, as I mentioned earlier, be sure you have the power turned off to all this, because I'm down here with my wrench, and if I touch this lug to this lug or something like that, I got sparks, or I trigger the winch, one of the two. So be sure to remove all power to your winch so you don't short anything out. It's these two wires right here that does your ins and your outs. Easy way to remember it: white out, white out, white out. You know, like the corrective fluid you put on your paper when you make a boo-boo? Well, white out, so white out. From the previous video where I did the bump switch, I marked my solenoids, which ones are ins and outs. Now the next wire we're going to hook up is the white one. That is your out wire. It means it feeds your cable outward. Are y'all catching on the easy way to remember this? White out. Back this off. I try to arrange my wires to where they tuck in as close to everything as possible, but yet you don't want nothing shorting out, obviously. And so I'm going to give this a little bend right here. Let it lay over that lug and keep it from off that one. You don't need it tight, just a good snug. Yellow will be your in wire. So we're putting that one over here. Now we start the wireless receiver downside there to figure out which way is the best to run my wires. So that allows me to tuck this one back like this or bring it up at like that. And then get this one started. Do ride the go-kart up and down the street. Go for it, bro. Have fun. Now what you want to do is you'll notice whenever you go to tighten up your wires that it'll want to twist these ends. Try to hold it in place to prevent them from twisting so it doesn't touch any of these other lugs. Because any kind of vibrations or crazy mishaps may cause a short inside there, then you got a problem. So snug that one up. Blue's our antenna. Now all we got to do is hook up the ground, which comes across right here. And let's see, what yellow's going to tuck down inside there. We can bring the ground over like this right here. Then snag it up. Again, hold your terminal to where it doesn't want to twist and rotate, because you want to clear all your other contacts. Clear by as in not touching. Then just give everybody a just come out and give everything a little once over, make sure it's all good and tight. Ground's tight, that one's good. Take a twisted wire and tuck it down inside there. And tuck this one in. Like so. That'll get it down so the cover sits down easily. And here's your antenna. And what I'm going to do right here is this little post. I'm going to stick the end of that antenna right there and kind of lay it in like this. Let me roll it back and see if it'll work. Lay it in like that. I thought that was going to reach that, but it won't, so it'll be alright. That keeps your antenna stretched out so maybe you get better reception. And here we go. Sweet. Now before I put the top back on, we're going to test this thing out. Okay, make sure my controller's not going to hit my cable. Let me go turn my winch on. Don't know if you guys heard that little subtle thump, but that's my solenoid closing that puts power to this. So we take this, hold it in for more than a second. Then we take our winch controller, hold it like this, because we want the front of the controller like we're facing the front of the Jeep. We'll push this one, which feeds the cable that way. It does. This one, you see our arrow right here, feeds the cable that way. Alright. And And now we have wireless control for the winch. Sweet. At the time of recording this, I paid 15 bucks for 2 sets. I mean, this right here is another receiver and another set of remotes. This is going to be for Rust Bucket. When I wire this into Rust Bucket, it's getting a, hold a second, wind kicking up. The second receiver and remote controls is going in Rust Bucket, and it's getting a Warren A274 installed on it, versus this is some no-name winch that was given to me a long time ago. So to get the job done, if a remote gets busted, it's not a major loss. I still have wired capability for this winch, so I'm good. By wired control, I mean I have the wired controller that came with the winch. I'm also going to put an in-cab controller, a rocker switch, whatever, that's going to control from off my shifter or off my dash or something like that. I've got the switch, I just need to figure out how I want to mount it first. Once I figure out how I want to mount it, then I'll do the video show you guys how to wire in an in-cab controller. Cool? Alright. So come up here on the farm, I'm going to hook my winch onto one of those trees right there, stretch it out, because all the videos I've been making here lately where I bump the cable forward, backwards and stuff, I've got my cable loose and all bunched up. While I'm out here, I'm also going to take those remotes and see how far they'll actually reach. Amazon ad says 100 feet. I don't know, but what I'll do is I'll push the button, walk backwards, push the button, walk backwards, and when I get to the point that I don't see the Jeep move anymore, at that point I'll walk it off and know how many paces I get and kind of give you a ballpark figure of how many feet that is. Sound cool? Alright, so I'm going to unlock the spool on my winch, get it stretched out, get it set up and all that stuff. I'll be back with you in a minute. Oh, cable's bunched up. I'm going to tie off to that tree right there. Get my straps. So I've got the cable stretched out, and as you see, I can grab hold of the cable, and it's actually still kind of loose, just enough to take the slack out. I paced it off, look at about 100 feet from that tree to the Jeep. So at this point, I'm going to get my remote and see what she does. Try to kick it out of gear. There she goes. And get my remote. So I've got the Jeep out of gear, got the cable, just got the slack taken out of it. And I paced it off, did the math based upon what my stride is, and that's about 80 feet from where it's tied to the tree to the winch, and I've got about 2 wraps on the drum right now. So turn on the remote. Wrong way. You gotta imagine your remote going this way. Squeaky. Okay, so I don't kill my battery, I'm going to start the Jeep. Obviously out of gear, ignition's on. Just recheck myself. Powered. See, it's pulling on the drum much tighter now. So what you want to do is, whenever you tighten your winch line up like this, when I get up here at the tree, you'll see that it's a downhill run. And I know somebody's going to eat me up for what I'm doing. Not for the tree strap, because I'm actually taking care of that. It's because I'm using steel cable, and I really should have some kind of weight on that cable in case it snaps. But I'm only pulling the weight of the Jeep. And duh me, run out away from the house, forgot to get my shipping blankets down to lay on the cable normally. So I'm about 80 feet from here. See what we got. Ooh, look at yonder, she's pulling. Go back a little further. Still got cable, still pulling. Go back a little further. Still pulling. Dude, that's pretty sweet. Still pulling. I'm almost against that fence right there, so I need to go back a little further the other way. Y'all got a lot of sun glare, but the Jeep is right there. Do I have pull? I have pull. Sweet. Keep going. It's so pretty back here. I love it back here. Back inside there, it's kind of, you drive up inside there, and kind of, I don't know, like a cul-de-sac clearing back there. I do some photography work back there sometimes. It's awesome. Okay, I'm a long ways from a Jeep, and the sun is totally blocking out the camera, but Jeep is like right there. Do I have, can I do it? Oh, I hear it. She's pulling, she's pulling. That's sweet. All right, a little bit more. I really have to listen for it now, so far back from it. Now I can't even see the Jeep because the hill kind of does a little rise right there. Ah, I hear it. It's still pulling. Dude. It's so beautiful back here. Okay, I gotta listen real close. Dude, it's still, seriously? That's, now for I paid $15 or $16, $15, something like that, for two sets of remotes, for two sets of wireless setups. Okay, listen real close. It's still pulling. Dang. I wish I'd set a camera up on the Jeep so you guys can see the spool. Okay, I can't hear it no more. I'm not sure if it ain't pulling or I just can't hear it. Okay, go back to where last time I heard it. About right on here. I hear it, I think. Okay, I hear it right there, definitely. So I'm going to paste it off from here. "104 steps," and you can see on the drum that we pulled cable the whole time. Every time we tried that, I am seriously impressed. Cheap Amazon wireless controller that I paid, like I said, $16 for 2 sets, 2 receivers, and 4 remotes. All right, speed her on up, dude. This sun's totally killing the camera. Check my wrap real quick. That's almost about to lap over. Yeah, she's all right. Stand back away from the cable. But like I said, it's only the weight of the Jeep, but you never know what kind of weird thing may happen. Right there, it's just like crossing over the cable again. Another wrap, so to speak. Yep, start this next wrap. Sure as a noisy winch, sounds like it might all be taken apart and greased. So this is going to bore y'all to death, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that line in and check back with you in just a few minutes. You see, it's doing its wrap like it's supposed to. Check out my gauge. It ain't happy when I punch the button. I may need to look at doing a dual battery setup. That thing's pulling some power. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish feeding it on in. I'll holler at you guys in a minute. So I was just sitting here feeding that cable on through, and I noticed a bunch of smoke coming out underneath my Jeep. I'm like, what the heck? Watch this. Look at my emergency brake cable. It is smoking like crazy. That means I need a better ground going to my winch. Yeah, that ain't cool. I mean, I don't use that thing anyway, that particular emergency brake, but that just says I need to do a different ground system for my winch. Look at that. Just melting the sleeve off of it. Yeah, I definitely need to reground that winch. It's just not getting the proper contact. So, I guess I need to do this little by little till I get it tightened up. But you guys see what you need to do, and so yeah. Let me nurture this thing back in here, and I'm gonna get out of here and do the intro, exits, and all that stuff in a minute. That ain't cool. So the winch controller itself is actually pretty easy to put on, but that little problem we discovered about my ground issue, we'll look into that, and I'll make a video later on, maybe a little short video showing you guys how I remedied that. I'll put a link down below in the comments and in the description stuff if you guys want this winch controller. It's from Amazon, and it's an affiliate link. And what affiliate links do, if you guys buy this winch controller, I get a little commission fee off of it. It doesn't cost you a single thing. And that little commission fee that I get from all the Amazon sales helps me grow the channel. I buy the parts, I buy all this stuff like that, using that money that makes the videos to give you guys the education you need. So it don't matter if it's this winch controller, you guys buy kitty litter or dog food, it don't matter. I still get a little something, and you guys, it doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps me out. So come up here on the farm, do shakedown runs to figure out, okay, if I got any issues before I go wheeling. And we discovered I have an issue. I've got bad ground going to my winch that I need to figure out, a good grounding point so it doesn't do that weird stuff like smoking back here like it was. And whenever I figure out that remedy and I correct it and stuff, I will make a short video showing you guys what I did. My little mishap can be your education. So everyone, if you enjoyed this video, hit me with a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, leave cool comments down below. Peace. Later, y'all.